gypsy woman. You remember? That's what I called you the night we first met. That awkward dinner party in St. James in, 2014 was it? Christ. Has it really only been 6 years? Feels like a lifetime. The funny thing is, when I said it, I didn't even mean it. It was just a cool thing to say. A pickup line. A con. I didn't even come up with it. I'd heard it on the radio on the way over. Some resurrected Dylan song from the summer of '67. I remember I didn't even particularly like the line. Didn't understand it, maybe. I thought it was sentimental, schmaltzy, maybe even a little bit racist. I remember thinking, gypsy woman? Do people still say gypsy? Because I think gypsies can say gypsy, but it's a bit presumptuous to call someone a gypsy if you don't know their heritage. I mean, traveller, maybe? Roma? I don't know. And she's a woman, so thin ice, my friend. Anyway, for some reason the lyrics stuck with me. And somewhere in the silence between the tahini dip and the butterbean curry, as our host was tenderly overcooking the curly kale and our hostess was quietly putting their screaming toddler to bed, I used it on you. And you smiled. Thank God you smiled. And when you smiled, I saw that it was true. It was no longer some cheesy line from a song. The words had become real. You were that gypsy woman. Your dark eyes, your red lips, your flashing teeth were ready to eat me up. I knew then that you were the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Sorry, but it's true. I remember the stag do clearly. I do. Well, most of it. I think I must have mentioned that I'd always wanted to climb Mount Olympus, but our budget wouldn't stretch that far, so we settled for cheap flights to Corfu. Big gang of us. It was brilliant. I mean it. Me and the lads found the realm of the gods on the top of the steep, dusty hill behind the hotel. We drank warm beer on the top, toasted you. Mythos. Well, I told you this story. I reached the top of the mountain first. And maybe it was the heat or maybe it was the hangover, but I found the view astonishing, overwhelming. I collapsed onto a large flat rock and just let my mind go white. I pictured you, my gypsy woman, tearing up the dance floor the night before on flaming feet. For a while I couldn't hear anything except the sound of my blood pumping and the cicada singing. But gradually my ears caught the heavy panting of unfit men approaching. Paul was bringing up the rear, Camel Light hanging from his bottom lip like some disillusioned grunt from a Vietnam movie. When I stood up, I left the imprint of my torso on the rock. Took a picture for Facebook. You liked it instantly. My sweat silhouette, you called it. My heart leapt. I looked back at the view. I said, "What do you think?" to Paul. He scratched his beard, took a look around, and then in that thick Shire accent said, "Oh, it's just another bloody horseshoe situation, innit?" I was deflated. Silly, but I was. It was like that moment I told you about, you remember, at my 4th birthday party, when I realised that the funny man in the clown outfit was just my dad dressed up. I said, "Some best man you are, you miserable cunt," and we all fell about. It's weird, but I could see his point. The view was similar to the one from the hotel balcony, just an arid coastline like a rusty brown horseshoe curving out into a diamond sea. I remember what he'd said the night before, floating on ouzo in phosphorescent waters under a universe of stars. He'd said, the problem with getting away from it all is you can never get away from yourself. I thought, bullshit. I'm happy. I wouldn't change this for the world. 3 weeks later, we were married. You wore wild flowers in your hair. So beautiful. And Paul gave us this horseshoe as a wedding gift. We laughed because we knew he'd nicked it from that beautiful old barn in the Black Mountains where we tied the knot. Maybe it was just a throwaway gesture, but it meant something to me. Good luck. Congratulations. But also, remember, no matter how happy you are today, remember, every new journey is just another horseshoe situation. And whoever you're with, wherever you go, when all's said and done, you go there alone. Christ, listen to me banging on. Sorry, depressing. Anyway, here's to us. Happy anniversary, darling. It's been 6 years and I'm still under your spell. I've tried to move on. But it's you. From that day to this. And it always will be. Gypsy woman, you know every place I go. Even 1,000 miles away from home. Has it really only been 6 years? Feels like yesterday. You remember? Say you remember. Say anything.